Hello students, we are going to start our lesson number 2, Computer Languages and Problem Solving Techniques. We are now well aware of the various computer applications which make it one of the most versatile devices ever developed by a human being. It is the power of these applications which help the user to perform various jobs very quickly and easily. But now, how are these applications developed? Who makes them? How does computer understand our instructions which we give simply by clicking the mouse button? To get the answer of all these and many more questions, we need to understand the concept of computer languages which are used for making all these applications. So, in this chapter, we will learn about the different types of computer languages and the techniques used to develop the applications with these languages. Introduction. Computer is an electronic data processing device which uses the electricity to represent and process the user's data. It works according to the user's instructions, but computer does not understand our language. It has its own language to work. To do any work on the computer, we need to pass our instructions in a language that the computer can understand. But this language is very difficult to understand and to work with. So to give our instruction, we use some easy to use computer languages for instructing our computer, which are translated into the computer understandable form to perform their desired job. So let us learn about these languages. What are computer languages? Language means a medium used for communication. So the language which helps the user communication with the computer is called computer language. Different computer languages have their own set of commands which are used for instructing the computer system. A set of instructions which tells the computer what to do is called program. The users who have the knowledge of computer languages write programs of the computer. Such users are called programmers. Each computer language has its own set of rules which are followed by the programmers to write computer programs. This set of rules are called syntax rules. Evolution of computer language. Just like the computer hardware, computer languages are also evolved over a period of time. The development of computer languages started with a language that they had all the instructions written in just two symbols, 0 and 1, which was extremely difficult to use. Today, we make highly complex programs very easily using advanced programming languages. The development of these languages can be classified as follows. First generation of machine language. This language was initially used by the programmers to write computer programs. It is the only language which our computer can understand. That is why it is known as low-level language. Machine is made up of just two symbols, that is 0 and 1. That's why it is also called binary language. These two symbols represent the two states of electricity, that is off 0 and on 1. Except this, all other programming languages are needed to be translated in the computer language. This language is extremely difficult to use and understand. The program designed for one type of computer using this computer language cannot be used in another computer. Second generation or assembly language. Assembly language was developed in 1950 as an alternative of machine language that used letter codes called mnemonics. Assembly language program is easy to use or modify, but as computer can understand the instructions written in any other language. A translator is needed to convert the assembly language program to machine language. This translator is called assembler. But machine language, assembly language program also cannot be used on different type of machines. That is, They are machine independent. That is why this is also called a low level language. Third generation or high level language. Due to the shortcomings of previous two generations, that is being machine specific languages, the need was felt for a language whose programs can be used on any type of machine, that is the machine independent languages. So the next step in the development of the computer languages was high level language, a language that was quite similar to English language, was simple as user friendly. High level language can be used on any type of machine. The programs written using high level languages are needed to be converted into machine language. Examples of third generation languages are Java, C, C++, etc. Two types of translators can be used to convert the high level languages program into machine language. These are compiler, a translator which converts the entire language program into machine language in one go is called compiler. C++, COBOL, etc. are the examples of languages using compiler. Interpreter, a translator which converts high-level language program to machine code line by line is called interpreter. Basic Python are the examples of language interpreter. Fourth generation. Fourth generation languages are also known as very high level languages, but these are more closer to human language than the typical high level language. They allow the user to specify what the computer is supposed to do without going into the details of how to do. So, the programmers need minimum level of programming skills to make programs in this. For example, SQL, Panther, Clipper, Oracle reports, etc. Fifth generation language. The fifth generation of computer languages are designed to solve the user problems using conditions based programming rather than using algorithms written by the programmer. These languages are used in artificial intelligence research, example Prolog, OPS5 and Mercury. Problem solving techniques. We know how the computer languages are used for making programs for the computer to solve the specific user problems. To make these programs, we use language specific statements arranged in specific order, which are executed in the order of appearance in the program to do the desired job. But if these statements are not arranged correctly, then they can never produce the desired result. So before designing a program, it is very important to decide the sequence of steps for solving a particular problem. We will now learn to design the solution of our problem with the help of two very useful tools called algorithm and flowcharts. Algorithm. To design the solution of a problem, it is first required to divide the problem into the smallest possible steps that can be shown in an individual statements and then put them into the correct order. This process of representing a problem step by step in the sequential manner is called algorithm. Once algorithm of a problem is designed, we can easily convert it into a computer program using the statement set of computer language. How to write an algorithm? While writing an algorithm, the following points are to be kept in mind. First, always begins the algorithm with the step start and finish with stop. Second, give a line number to each step. Third, write each step in a separate line. Fourth, function of each statement should be very clear. For example, to find the sum of two numbers. Step 1, start. Step 2, read the two numbers and 1 and 2 number to be added. Step 3. Result is equal to n1 plus n2. Calculating the sum of above numbers. Step 4. Display the result, showing the answer. Step 5. Stop. Let's take the another example to find the largest of two numbers. Step 1. Start. Step 2. Read the two numbers n1 and n2. Step 3. Compare n1 and n2. If n1 is greater, go to the step 4, otherwise go to step 5. Print the number n1 is greater and go to step 6. Step 5. Print number n2 is greater. Step 6. Stop. Flowchart. Flowchart is the diagrammatic representation of the algorithm steps used to show the flow of program. To create a flowchart, some standard symbols are used, which each symbol represents a specific type of operation. These symbols are connected to each other by solid lines with arrow marks called flow of lines or flow lines. Flowchart is a pictorial representation of the sequence of steps to solve the particular problem. The different symbols are used or boxes used to create flowchart are: first, terminal box. Terminal box is also known as start or stop box, used to mark the beginning and end of the flowchart. Second, input and output box. The parallelogram shaped box is used to show the accepted inputs or outputs in the program. Process box. Any type of arithmetic computations or logical operations performed by the computer are represented in the rectangular process box. Decision box. It is a diamond-shaped box used to represent the condition-based operations for checking or applying any condition in the program. This output of the decision box is in the form of yes or no or true or false. Connector. The circle-shaped symbols is called connector. It is used to connect the chart from one page to another or to connect two parts of the flowchart. Flow lines. The different boxes of the flowchart are connected with the flow lines. These are the directional arrows used to put all the steps in a sequence. How to create a flowchart? To create a flowchart, first categorize the steps of algorithm as input, process or output statement, and then using suitable boxes, connect them with flow lines to form the chart. For example, to add the two numbers. Step 1, start, that is terminal blocks. Step 2, read two numbers, input or output box. Step 3, add the numbers, process box. Step 4, display results, input or output box. Step 5, stop, terminal box. So the resultation flowchart will be start, read n1, n2, sum equals to n1 plus n2, display sum, stop. Let's take some another examples of the flowchart. To find larger among the two numbers. Step 1, start. Step 2, read the two numbers. Step 3, compare the numbers. Step 4, print the larger number. Step 5, stop. Now the diagram will be start, read n1 and n2. If n1 is greater than n2, then print n1 and stop. If n1 is not greater than n2, then no, print n2, then it will go to stop. To find the speed of a car, another example. Step 1, start. Step 2, read distance travelled. Step 3, read time taken. Step 4, calculation speed as distance or time. Step 5, display speed. Step 6, stop. Now the diagram will be start, then read distance, read time, speed equals to distance upon time, display speed, then stop. So now you can represent the solution of a problem in the form of flowchart. This solution is called a program logic. Now this logic will be converted into computer program using a suitable computer language. Thank you everyone. Thank you for watching this video.